AI Business Brief for July 14, 2026. Apple sued OpenAI for allegedly coaching employees to steal trade secrets during job interviews. Anthropic launched rupee pricing in India at $21/month for Pro. Siri AI's public beta finally makes voice assistants useful for business tasks. Here's the full breakdown of today's top AI stories for your business. Next section, lead story. Next section, Apple vs. OpenAI, trade secret theft allegations rock AI industry. Apple filed a 41-page lawsuit against OpenAI alleging a coordinated scheme to extract trade secrets from current and former Apple employees. The complaint describes OpenAI's hardware chief, Tang Tan, asking job candidates to bring actual parts and prototypes from Apple to interviews for show and tell sessions. One candidate allegedly said he didn't even know we could take those from the office. The lawsuit claims former Apple engineer Chang Liu exploited an authentication bug to access Apple's network storage after leaving the company. Texting another employee, "Lol, I found out I can access the network storage, so funny." Apple alleges OpenAI circulated internal Apple documents to coach departing employees on avoiding the dreaded walkout, immediate removal upon resignation. Oh, they'd have more time to access confidential systems. If you're building hardware or competing with big tech, this case matters. The allegations suggest OpenAI normalized trade secret theft from the top, and that discovery will expose that the misappropriation has been occurring on a scale many times greater than documented. Apple describes OpenAI's hardware business as rotten to its core by its illegal reliance on misappropriated trade secrets. Expect this to drag out for years and shape how AI companies recruit from competitors. Read the allegations, The Verge's coverage. Next section, tools and launches. Waze adds Gemini-powered conversational navigation. You can now ask Waze, "Find me a coffee shop that's open right now," or "Find me parking close to Grand Mall," and get options back. The app also added personalized routing based on your trip history, prefers highways vs. local streets, and a less chatty mode that minimizes voice prompts. Motorcycle mode rolled out in 7 countries with hazard warnings for potholes and speed bumps. If you run a delivery or field service business, the conversational search and personalized routing could save time for drivers who know what they need but not exactly where it is. Read more. Siri AI public beta makes voice assistants actually useful. iOS 27's public beta launched with the revamped Siri AI that can look across apps and the web to answer questions. One tester asked, "What order are the bands playing in?" while looking at a concert page, and Siri searched the web and returned the lineup order. Another asked, "Can you add my WWDC briefings to my calendar?" and Siri parsed 6 email events and added them all. On-screen awareness lets you ask about what's visible and take action, add events, get directions. This is the first voice assistant that might replace opening your browser for quick tasks. If you've written off voice assistants as useless, try this beta. It's an opt-in program within iOS 27. Read more. Hermes agent raises funding at $1.5 B valuation. News Research is finalizing at least $75 million in new funding led by Robot Ventures and USV at a $1.5 billion valuation. Hermes is an open-source AI agent that runs locally or in the cloud with built-in skills, web search, coding, image understanding, and automatic skill learning. It has 214,000 GitHub stars and 40,000 forks. Cloud-hosted tiers run $20 to $100/month. If you want an agent that runs 24/7 without hitting a PI rate limits, Hermes is a strong option. The funding will expand products and business models. Read more. Next section, Business Playbook. What is an AI agent and how do you use one? Zapier's explainer breaks down the components. Sensors gather information, actuators take action, processors make decisions. Modern agents follow a loop. Receive goal, plan tasks, gather information, select tools, evaluate results, iterate until done. Zapier lets you describe a goal, and the built-in AI assistant configures the agent with access to your tech stack. You can also install Zapier MCP in ChatGPT or Claude so agents can act without leaving the chat window. If you're tired of explaining AI agents to stakeholders, send them this guide. Read more. Digital workflow management saves 30% of team time. Digital workflow automation can cut manual processing time by 30%, freeing teams for higher value work. Cloud-based platforms provide real-time updates and reduce operational costs from paper and manual approvals. Key features: automation tools for repetitive tasks, real-time notifications for approvals, customizable workflows for specific needs, cloud-based collaboration. Start by mapping current workflows, identifying repetitive tasks, and picking automation tools that fit your stack. If you're still using paper-based processes or manual approvals, this is low-hanging fruit. Read more. Small business risks are changing in 2026. AI liability is now a real exposure gap. If your AI tool generates false information and you publish it, causing financial loss or reputation damage to a client, you could be liable for negligence. If AI generates a logo or text that infringes copyright, your business is on the hook, not the AI provider. Standard general liability policies weren't built for algorithmic errors. Cyber extortion is targeting small businesses as low-hanging fruit. Ransomware attacks lock critical files, client lists, financials, and demand payment. Deepfake audio is being used to impersonate vendors or executives and trick employees into transferring funds. Check your coverage limits. Many are based on 2023 prices and won't cover full replacement costs after inflation. Read more. Next section, Pricing and Access Watch. Anthropic launches India pricing for Claude. Claude Pro now costs Rupee 2,000/month, $21, when billed annually, compared to $17/month in the US. Claude Max starts at Rupee 11,999/month, $125 vs. $100 in the US. Team plans are Rupee 2,399/month, $25 per seat vs. $20 in the US. Prices include local taxes. India is Anthropic's second largest market after the US, 5.8% of global usage. UPI payments aren't enabled yet, you still need a card or app store billing. If you have a team in India, local pricing removes currency conversion friction. Read more. Pixverse raises $439 at $2 B plus valuation, offers video generation at $4.80/minute. The Singapore video generation startup closed its Series C extension with Alibaba, Murray Asset, and others. Pixverse offers V-Series, consumer/API, C-Series professional film/commercial, and R-Series world models for game dev. 150 million registered users, 15 million monthly actives. Video generation runs $4.80 per minute for image to video and up to 4K with baked-in audio. If you're creating marketing videos or product demos, this is cheaper than hiring a video team. Pixverse competes with Runway, Luma, and ByteDance's Seedance. Read more. Next section, Industry Moves. Microsoft's Nadella warns, you're paying for AI twice. In a Sunday blog post, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said enterprises pay once with money, token usage, and again with proprietary knowledge they reveal to make models useful. Every correction is distilled into institutional know-how, he wrote. This is the kind of knowledge a competitor could never buy. Nadella argues model makers can't freely scrape the internet for training while restricting enterprises from distilling their own models. His solution? Build proprietary learning environments on the cloud, like Azure, with orchestration layers to switch between AI providers. If you're feeding sensitive business data into Claude or ChatGPT, this is a wake-up call. Consider on-prem open-source models for proprietary workflows. Read more. Already rich tech founders are joining AI labs as individual contributors. Tom Blomfield, Go Cardless, Monzo, Y Combinator joined Anthropic's compute team as member of technical staff, not an executive. Instagram co-founder Mike Krieger is Anthropic's CPO. Andrej Karpathy, OpenAI, Tesla, Eureka Labs joined Anthropic's pre-training team. Chamath Palihapitiya took his first full-time operating role in a decade as CEO of 8090 Labs, his enterprise AI coding startup, which raised $135 million. Peter Bailey's left Workday CTO after less than a year to join Anthropic. The pattern? People who have already made it big are grinding again because they don't want to miss AI's defining moment. If you're hiring AI talent, this is the competition. Read more. New York enacts first statewide data center moratorium. Governor Kathy Hochul signed an executive order blocking new environmental permits for data centers over 50 megawatts for up to a year. The goal? Protect residents from rising energy prices and environmental impact. The state will develop regulations and consider requiring data centers to invest in energy infrastructure. A separate legislative bill with a 20 MW threshold still awaits signature. If you're planning cloud expansion or evaluating data center partnerships, expect more states to follow New York's lead. Read more. SBA increases 7A and 504 loan limits to $10 million. Small businesses can now combine up to $5 million from the 7A program with $5 million from the 504 program, previously $5 million total cap. The change unlocks financing for real estate, equipment, and working capital. Small manufacturers can access unlimited 504 loans for distinct projects. The application process is complex. Expect thorough documentation and eligibility criteria. If you're growing and need capital-intensive financing, this doubles your borrowing capacity. Read more. Next section, quick wins. Cache Python tools in GitHub Actions with UV exclude newer. Simon Willison found a cache-friendly recipe for using UV's toolname in GitHub Actions. Set UV exclude newer 2026-0712 as an environment variable at the start of the workflow and use it as part of the cache key. This pins tool versions to the most recent as of that date. Bump the date to bust the cache and upgrade tools. If you're using Python CLI tools in CI/CD, this prevents every run from hitting PyPI for fresh downloads. Read more. Try Doomkle, a Doom-like game where SQLite is the engine. Peter Gostov built a terminal game using GPT-5, 6 Sol where SQL owns movement, collision, enemies, combat, and every RGB pixel. It's implemented as a Python script with a massive recursive CTE that implements a full ray tracer in SQLite. Install with UV run host/Doomkle. Pi. This is a fun proof of concept for what's possible with creative SQL and AI code generation. If you're teaching SQL or showing off AI capabilities, this is a crowd pleaser. Read more. Next section, Outlook. The Apple vs. OpenAI lawsuit sets a precedent for how AI companies recruit and handle trade secrets. Expect more big tech litigation as hardware ambitions collide. Anthropic's India pricing signals global AI companies are tailoring offerings for price-sensitive markets, not just the US. Siri AI's public beta shows voice assistants are finally crossing the usefulness threshold for business tasks. Watch for Microsoft, Google, and other platform players to follow Apple's lead on-screen awareness and cross-app actions. That concludes today's AI Business Brief. From Carolina Clear Tech. Stay smart, stay ahead.